Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a question. What's the one thing you refuse to give up for your dreams? Time, sleep, comfort? Here's the truth. Most people never reach their full potential, not because they lack talent or opportunities, but because they stop where others wouldn't. They stop when it gets hard. They stop when it feels impossible. But you're here for something bigger. You're here because deep down, you know you were built for more. This is not just a motivational speech. This is a call to action. Today, I'm going to show you why doing what they want is the only way to get what they can't. I'll challenge you to see struggle not as a setback, but as your greatest weapon. By the end of this talk, you'll have a blueprint to separate yourself from the crowd and rise above it. So buckle up, because what we're about to dive into is not for the faint of heart. This is for those who are ready to win. Are you ready? Let's get it. What you're willing to give up today defines who you'll become tomorrow. It's easy to look at successful people and think they just got lucky or had it handed to them. But what you don't see are the nights they sacrificed sleep, the weekends they skipped the parties, and the moments they chose discipline over comfort. Every single decision they made to give up what was easy added up to something extraordinary. Imagine you're holding a cup and it's filled to the brim with all your habits, distractions, and excuses. If you don't pour something out, there's no room for growth. Sacrifice is that pouring out. It's letting go of Netflix marathons to read, skipping the fast food to fuel your body, and saying no to distractions so you can say yes to your goals. And here's the kicker. This isn't about giving up forever. It's about temporarily letting go of what feels good now to create a life that feels amazing later. It's about choosing the pain of discipline over the pain of regret, the pain of staying up late, working on your dream versus waking up one day wondering why it didn't happen for you. When you sacrifice, you're not losing, you're investing. You're trading immediate gratification for long-term greatness. So, ask yourself, what are you holding on to right now that's keeping you from the life you want? What will you give up today to grow into the person you meant to be tomorrow? The answer to those questions will determine everything. Consistency is the silent killer of doubt and the loudest voice of success. Most people rely on motivation to get started. But here's the problem. Motivation fades. It's a spark, not the fuel. The real fuel? Consistency. Doing the work every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when nobody is clapping for you, and even when progress feels invisible. Think about it. How often do we let convenience dictate our actions? We choose the elevator over the stairs, the shortcut over the grind, the easy way out instead of the long road to mastery. But here's the truth. Convenience might feel good in the moment, but it never delivers results. Consistency does. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's waking up before the sun to put in the work. It's showing up when no one's looking and no one cares. It's doing a boring, repetitive task that make the extraordinary possible. The thing is, people will laugh at your grind because they don't understand it. But one day, they'll stand in awe of your results. You have to fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. The applause will come later, but right now, it's about putting in the reps. No matter how small the steps feel, every single one adds up. And one day, when they see your success, they'll call it talent. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't talent. It was consistency. So the question is, are you ready to stop chasing convenience and start building consistency? Because that's the only way you'll outlast, outwork, and outperform everyone who settles for average. Fear is the wall standing between you and the life you want. Most people see that wall and stop. They let fear whisper in their ear, "You're not good enough. You'll fail. What will people think?" And they believe it. They let fear shrink their dreams and clip their wings. But let me tell you something. Fear is a liar. It's not there to stop you. It's there to test you. It's there to ask, how bad do you want it? The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. The successful don't let fear make their decisions. They feel it, but they move anyway. But think about it. Every great breakthrough happens outside of comfort. Fear shows up because you're about to step into something bigger than you've ever done before. That's why it feels overwhelming. But fear is also the signal that you're on the right path. It's proof you're growing. Here's what you need to do. Shift your mindset. Stop saying, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if I succeed?" Fear is an opportunity. Every time you face it, you get stronger, more resilient, and more unstoppable. Fear is your invitation to step up, to push past the limits you thought you had, and to prove yourself wrong. So what's the thing you're afraid to do right now? That's the thing you must do. Because on the other side of fear isn't just success, it's freedom. Freedom to live life on your terms. Freedom to be everything you were meant to be. Don't let fear win. Look it in the eye, take a deep breath, and say, "Watch me." Everywhere you look, distractions are fighting for your attention, notifications pinging, endless scrolling, the noise of opinions, and the temptation of easy entertainment. The world isn't designed to help you focus. It's designed to pull you away from what matters most. But here's the truth. You can't win the game if you're playing by everyone else's rules. Success isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Vision is the ability to stay locked in on your goal while the world tries to blow your focus. It's about tuning out the noise and zeroing in on the signal. The problem is, most people let distractions dictate their day. They spend hours on things that feel urgent but aren't important. And then they wonder why they aren't making progress. But if you want to do what they want, you've got to flip the script. You got to flip the script. You got to protect your vision like your life depends on it, because it does. When you focus, you move differently. You stop saying yes to things that don't align with your purpose. You stop wasting energy on what's out of your control. You start showing up every day with clarity, knowing exactly what you're working toward. And here's the magic. When you focus, the distractions lose their power. This is how you rise above the crowd, by being the one who stays disciplined while everyone else gets distracted. You have a vision, and it's your responsibility to guard it fiercely. Don't let anything or anyone steal it from you. Stay locked in, because when you do, the results will speak for themselves. Most people want the spotlight without putting in the work when no one's watching. They want the applause without the grind, the results without the process. But here's the hard truth. The real game isn't won in the light, it's won in the dark. It's those late nights and early mornings when no one's around to cheer you on. It's the moments when you're exhausted, tempted to quit, but you push through anyway. That's where champions are made. Success is born in the silence, in the grind that no one sees, in the hours that never make it to Instagram. The problem is people love the idea of success, but they hate what it takes to get there. They don't want to be uncomfortable, to face their doubts, or to do the same repetitive work over and over again. But that's what separates those who dream from those who do. Grinding in the dark isn't glamorous, but it's necessary. It's where you develop discipline, resilience, and the skills that will eventually put you on top. And when the results finally show, everyone will call it an overnight success. They'll see the glow, but they'll never understand the grind. So the next time you feel overlooked or like no one notices your effort, remember this. Every great accomplishment starts with unseen work. Every win is built on a foundation of quiet, consistent effort. Keep grinding. Stay in the dark, because when the light finally shines on you, you'll be ready. Success is not about luck, talent, or who you know. It's about owning your choices. Every single decision you make, no matter how small, is shaping your future. You can't control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. That's the power of ownership. Most people don't want to take responsibility. They point fingers, make excuses, and blame their circumstances. But here's the truth. As long as you're blaming something or someone else, you're giving away your power. Ownership means taking full accountability, not just for the wins, but for the losses, the mistakes, and the setbacks. When you own your choices, something incredible happens. You stop waiting for things to change and you start making them change. You stop seeing problems as roadblocks and start seeing them as opportunities to grow. You realize that no one is coming to save you. And that's a good thing, because it means the power to succeed has been in your hands all along. Think about it. The life you want is built on the choices you make today. The decision to show up, to work harder, to say no to distractions, and yes to discipline, that's ownership. It's about asking yourself, what can I do right now to move closer to my goal? And then doing it, no matter how tough it feels. When you take responsibility for your life, you gain the power to change it. You become unstoppable because nothing and no one can hold you back. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Own your choices, own your hustle, and own your success. It's all on you. And that's the best news you'll ever hear. Why? Pain is inevitable, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental. You're going to face it. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who succeed is how they handle it. Most people run from pain. They avoid it, numb it, or let it break them. But if you want to rise above, you have to learn to embrace pain and turn it into progress. Pain is a teacher. It's there to show you where you need to grow, to stretch you beyond your limits, and to refine you. Think about it. No muscle grows without resistance. No diamond is made without pressure. And no success is achieved without struggle. Pain is the price of greatness. The question isn't whether you'll experience pain, it's how you'll respond to it. Will you let it define you? Or will you let it drive you? Will you let it make you bitter? Or will you let it make you better? Every moment of pain is an opportunity to choose strength, resilience, and determination. When you face pain head on, something incredible happens. It stops being your enemy and starts becoming your fuel. You realize that the very thing you thought would break you is what builds you. You stop seeing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. So the next time pain comes knocking, don't run, don't hide, lean into it. Feel it, learn from it, and use it. Because every ounce of pain you endure today is paving the way for the progress you'll see tomorrow. Pain is your ally, your teacher, and your ultimate weapon. Use it wisely. The way you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Most people roll out of bed, hit snooze a few times, and stumble into their day with no plan, no purpose, and no energy. And then they wonder why they're always one step behind. But here's the secret. If you want to win your life, you've got to start by winning your mornings. The morning is your most powerful time. It's when your mind is fresh, your energy is at its peak, and distractions haven't taken over yet. What you do in those first few hours determines whether you spend the day reacting to life or taking control of it. Think about the people you admire, the ones who seem to have it all together. Do you think they're wasting their mornings scrolling on their phones or sleeping in? No, they're up early, setting intentions, sharpening their minds, and putting in the work before the rest of the world even wakes up. Winning the morning doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means you have to be intentional. Whether it's exercising, journaling, planning your goals, or simply sitting in silence to focus your thoughts, the key is to start your day with purpose. That energy and focus will carry you through everything else. So ask yourself, what would your mornings look like if you were serious about your dreams? What could you accomplish if you used that time to build momentum instead of losing it? The answer to those questions will transform your life, one morning at a time. Win the morning, and the rest of the day is yours. Talk is cheap, and everyone has an opinion, but when it comes to success, only one thing matters: results. The world doesn't care about your excuses, your intentions, or your plans. What people notice, what they can't ignore, are your results. Here's the thing, most people waste their energy trying to convince others of their potential. They talk about what they're going to do, the big ideas they have, and how great they'll be someday, but none of that matters until they deliver. Results don't need explanations. They speak louder than words ever could. If you're serious about success, stop chasing validation and start chasing excellence. You don't need to argue with the doubters, prove anything to the critics, or explain yourself to anyone. Just do the work. Show up every day and let the results handle the rest. The beauty of results is that they're undeniable. They silence the noise, erase the doubts, and command respect. No one can argue with a record-breaking performance, a transformed life, or a goal achieved. Results are the ultimate mic drop. So the next time someone doubts you or underestimates your grind, don't waste your breath trying to convince them. Keep your head down, stay focused, and let your work speak for itself. Because when the results show up, they'll tell the whole story and you won't have to say a word. The actions you take today are the legacy you leave behind tomorrow. Too many people live as if they have all the time in the world, thinking they'll have a chance to make an impact later. But the reality is, every day you wake up is an opportunity to build something that lasts. The question is, what are you building? A legacy isn't just about the money you make or the things you acquire. It's about the mark you leave on the world and the people in it. It's about how you inspire others, the way you show up for your community, and the impact you have on the lives around you. A true legacy is something that outlives you, something that people will remember long after you're gone. It's easy to get caught up in short-term wins and instant gratification, but those things don't stand the test of time. What matters most is what you're doing right now to create something meaningful. Every choice, every action, and every moment is an opportunity to craft the story that will be told about you. Think about the people you admire, the ones who've left an indelible mark on the world. They didn't wait for the perfect moment to start. They made every moment count. They worked hard, they persevered, and they made sacrifices. But most importantly, they lived with purpose. So ask yourself, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? What are you doing today that will resonate long after you've moved on? The actions you take now are the seeds of your legacy. So plant them wisely. Build something that will inspire others to rise, to dream, and to be better, because the life you live today will echo forever.